Hi everyone. In the quantitative ability section of CAT and other entrance exams, there are some topics in which you will find infinite varieties of question. Numbers, permutation combination, time, speed, distance, time and work are some of the areas where you will find so many varieties of question that sometimes you will feel that whether you are prepared with this topic or not. So in such situation, it is important to understand the paper pattern, to look at the previous year questions and practice only those varieties of question which are important. So in this video, we are going to revise all the important topics of time, speed, distance, including boats, trains, okay, and we are going to take up the question from previous year exams of CAT, and we'll understand what are the important varieties. So watch this video till the end and don't forget to hit the like button. So let's first of all understand what are the important varieties of question that are being asked in the CAT exam. So there are 6 varieties that I have identified. The first varieties of question are simply based on the relationship between distance, speed and time. So you just need to you are given distance and speed and you need to find out time and so on and so forth. And apart from that, you need to keep that in mind that 1 kilometer per hour is 5 by 18 meter per second and so on and so forth. Then the second variety is based on the average speed. You know, the total distance traveled upon total time is the average speed, and there are 2 special cases of the average speed. First, when the average speed, in the situation when the distance traveled for 2 different journeys are same, then average speed will be 2 into s1 into s2 upon s1 plus s2. So you can remember this formula so that you can quickly find out average speed in such situation. And the second situation is when the time taken for 2 different journeys same. So in this case, average speed will be straight away s1 plus s2 by 2. Let me just write over here s1 plus s2 by 2. So just remember these 2 special cases of average speed. Then the third variety of questions are based on proportionality. You know that when speed increases, the time goes down, or you can say speed is inversely proportional to time. Similarly, given the distance is constant, distance is same. Similarly, if speed increases, then you can travel more distance. So you can say speed is directly proportional to distance. So we will require to use this proportionality concept in certain question. For example, a person starts from his home and travels at a certain speed and reaches to the office 10 minutes late. So at what speed should he travel in order to reach on time and so on and so forth. So this kind of question can straight away be solved by using concept of proportionality. So we'll cover those questions as well. Then the next variety is based on relative speed. You know that when 2 bodies travel in the same direction, the relative speed is difference of the speeds, and when they travel in the opposite direction, the relative speed will become sum of the speeds, right? So question will be straight away based on that. Here once again there is a special scenario, so you need to remember this formula. So what does it indicate? Let's quickly understand. So 2 people A and B started towards each other at the same time, and they are traveling at a speed SA and SB. They met somewhere at point say C, and after meeting, person from B takes B hours to reach to A, and person from A takes A hours to reach to B. So you can, based on this data, you can find out the ratio of the speed. So ratio of speed, that is SA upon SB, will be equal to under root of B by A. So just remember this formula, because based on this also question have been asked, right? Apart from that, you are asked train questions. So you know that and this train questions are those questions where the length of the train is considered. You will find some questions based on train, where a train starts from Delhi and it goes to Mumbai, another starts from Mumbai and goes to Delhi. So it's not actually a train question, it's a simple relative speed question. But the question that I'm talking about is the one where there is one train which is 100-meter long, traveling at a speed of say 10 meter per second. There is another train which is 150-meter long, traveling at a speed of say 5 meter per second. So in how much time will both the train cross each other? So you know that when 2 train wants to cross each other, they'll have to travel distance, total distance equal to sum of their lengths. So here 2 trains will have to travel total distance of 250 meter. At what speed? At the relative speed. Since they are traveling in opposite direction, so the relative speed will be sum of the speed. So it will be straight away 15 meter per second. So this will be the answer. It will take this many seconds time. So I'm sure you would be aware of this concept, and we'll look at the question based on this. So this is the 5th variety, and the last variety is boats and stream. Okay, so in boats and stream, you know that when you drive your boat in the direction of the current, so that situation is called downstream, and the effective speed will be sum of the speed of boat and river. Similarly, if you drive it against the current of the river, then it will be upstream. So you know this formula, and we'll look at the question that are being asked in CAT exam. so that you can just practice those variety. Let me just tell you over here that we are not considering linear and circular race based question in this particular video. I have released a separate video, and you will find the description of those videos in the you will find the link of those video in the description, so do check the description. I have also created a playlist of all the important topic videos like this one, so you can also explore the other videos. Right, now let's look at question based on each of this variety. I have taken up around 12 different variety question based on all these areas, which are straight from last few years papers. So even if you practice this 12 questions, you will get fair idea how to what kind of questions to expect and how to solve them. Of course, I'll also show you some shortcuts to quickly solve those questions. So let's begin with the questions, and let's look at each of the questions. So the first variety of question, T1 variety, which is just based on relationship between time, speed and distance, it's on your screen, and let's see how to solve this question. So the question says that points A, P, Q and B lie on the same line such that P, Q and B are respectively 100 km, 200 km and 300 km away from A. Okay, car 1 and 2 leaves A at the same time and move towards B. Simultaneously, car 3 leaves B and move towards A. So guys, just to help you understand the scenario, I have created some nice graphics for all of you. So I'm sure you can visualize this. This is point A, and the distance between them is also given. So this distance is 100 km. This is also 100 km. And this is also 100 km. So we can say B is 300 km away from A. Car 1 and 2 leaves A, and at the same time car 3 leaves point B. Now what is the question? Let's understand. So it further says that car 3 meets car 1 at Q. Now see, please understand, this is a very simple question. It is straight away from CAT 2018 slot 2 paper. Okay, so this car reaches over here. In the meantime, car 3 reaches over here and they are meeting at point Q. Okay, and car 2 at P. So car 3 meets car 2 at point P. So that means car 3 travels up to this point. In the meantime, car 2 travels only up to this point. So let's try to jot down this numbers. So here are those 3 cars. Can I say when car 1 travels 200 km, as you can see over here, this distance is 200 km. Car 3 has traveled just 100 km distance. So we got ratio of the speeds, or in the same time, how much distance will this 2 car travel? That's nothing but the ratio of speeds. Similarly, car 3 meets car 2 at point P. That means car 3 has traveled this 200 km distance, and in the meantime car 2 has traveled just 100 km distance. So I can say car 3 when travels 200 km, car 2 travels only 100 km. Now it's very easy to make out that car 1 travels double the distance of car 3. So when car 3 travels 200 km, car 1 must have traveled 400 km distance, right? So what do we need to find out? So we are asked to find out ratio of speed of car 2 to that of car 1. Can I say that ratio of distance in the same time is 100:400? So ratio of speed is nothing but 1:4. How much time should it take for you to solve such question? Just think about that. So in case if you have been just entangling yourself by solving those complicated question level of difficulty 3 questions, then it's high time that you stop doing that, because there is no limit to that. What you need to understand is what kind of questions are being asked in CAT exam and how to quickly figure out the solution for those questions. So in this video, I have taken all the CAT questions which we are going to solve in almost 1 minute time. Maximum it will take 90 seconds for certain question. Otherwise, most of the question can be solved in 1 minute, that is 60 seconds time. For example, this question, I'm sure now you can figure out, okay, I could have easily solved this question in under 60 seconds, right? Okay. Chalo, let's take one more question, which is once again based on concept of TSD, just time, speed, distance, and we are going to use a little different approach for this question because this is slightly difficult. Okay, this is from CAT 2017 slot 2. So the question says that Arun drove from home to his hostel at 60 miles per hour. So here is the situation. This is his home and this is the hostel. Distance is not known, but he is driving at a speed of 60 miles per hour, mph. Okay. While returning home, he drove halfway along the same route at a speed of 25 miles per hour. So he came back, and this half distance, say d by 2 distance, he traveled at 25 miles per hour. and then took a bypass road which increased his driving distance by 5 miles. So now he had to travel d by 2 distance, but then he took some different road because of which the distance increased by 5, but allowed him to drive at a speed of 50. So he traveled this distance at 50 km per hour, 50 miles per hour. If his return journey took 30 minutes more time than his onward journey, then the total distance traveled by him. Now guys, as you can see, there are so many variables over here, particularly first we don't know the distance. That's the major problem over here, right? And if you try to assume the distance d kilometer as I have mentioned, and if you try to make different equations, trust me, you will end up spending more than 3 minutes, and chances are very high that you may make some calculations in the process. So instead, let's use a little smarter approach. We know that he travels d distance while going and d plus 5 kilometer distance while coming back, because he has taken that bypass road. So that has increased his distance by 5 kilometer. And what is our question? Our question is, what is the total distance traveled by him? So we need to find out value for 2d plus 5. Okay. Now, if I look at my options, I have two options which are ending with 0, and there are two options which are ending with 5. It's very easy for you to identify that. For example, if I take option like say 60, if I take this 2d plus 5 is 60, then d will come out to be how much? 27.5. Now, if it travels at 60 miles per hour and then further at 25 miles per hour and then 50 miles per hour, this distance will definitely produce the time, okay, which will be in pretty different fractions, and that will not gel with each other. While what our question says that his total time while coming back has increased by 30 minutes compared to the previous time. So previously, if he say traveled in 40 minutes, then now he should have taken 70 minutes, or previously if he traveled at 60 minutes, now he should have taken 90 minutes, and so on and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll just try to figure out the options. Okay, so I'll go ahead with the options which are ending with 5. So for example, if I take this option, now there is a reason why I'm taking this option and not this one. That is something that I'll park it for the later stage, okay, because that will complicate the video. So I'm just taking this option right now, 65 miles per hour. Okay, 65, it's very easy that if we remove 5 out of that, 2d plus 5 is 65. So I can say my distance will be 30. This 30 is just half of 60. So definitely it will produce a simple calculation, and chances are very high that you will get that answer, the desired answer. So let's try for that. So if I assume the distance as 30 kilometer, right, he travels this at the speed of 60. So it must have taken 30 minutes time for him while going from home to hostel. That means the time that he should have taken while coming back should be 60 minutes. Now let's see whether we are getting 60 minutes based on the given condition or not. So it says that he traveled half the distance, that is 15 kilometer distance, at the speed of 25 miles per hour. Okay, now here everything we are assuming in miles. I'm sorry, I have written kilometer, we should have written miles, doesn't matter. I'm sure you must have understood this. So everything is in miles. Okay, 15 miles, 30 miles, and so on and so forth. So can I say 15 miles at a speed of 25 miles per hour? It should have taken 15 by 25, that is 3 by 5 hour time. Yes, so this time is 3 by 5 hour. Now he needs to travel remaining distance. This is half distance, not half distance actually, 15 miles distance. So he needs to travel remaining 20 miles distance. Why 20 miles? Because now he is taking that different bypass route. So the distance has increased by 5 kilometer. So 15 plus 5 is 20. He travels this 20 mile distance at a speed of 50 miles per hour. So can I say time will be 20 by 50, that is 2 by 5 hour. So 3 by 5 hour plus 2 by 5 hour is nothing but 1 hour, that is 60 minutes. So previously he traveled at 30 minutes, now he is going at 60 minutes. So his time has increased by 30 minutes, and that should be my answer. See, either I'll solve this question in this manner or I'll skip this question, because I'll definitely find some other easy question. Now coming back to the point why I chose 65 miles per hour. Guys, the simple reason that I thought over here is, if I take distance, if I look at this thing, okay, my the speed has become almost half. You know, while going my speed was 60, while coming back it was 25 for certain distance, and then 50 miles for some distance, but distance has also increased by 5. So I can say my overall speed for the same distance has become around 30 miles per hour, right? So if I consider distance as 30, time while going will be 30 minutes and time while coming back, because I am making my speed almost half, so it will become double, that is 60, and that 30 and 60 difference will be 30 minutes. So that's the reason I picked that. Even if you are not thinking so much, you can just simply try for this option because it is more convenient, isn't that? Because if had you taken this 55 miles, then your distance would have come out to be 25. So definitely it will be very easy for you to identify while going back, while coming back, half the distance he is traveling at 25 miles per hour. So it will take total 1 hour's time over there itself, right? That's one half the distance, so it will take 30 minutes time over there itself. So that will not gel with our actual solution, right? So this is one of the approach that you could have taken for this question. Now let's look at another question which is based on variety 2, type 2, which is proportionality. Okay, so the distance from B to C, the question is the distance from B to C is thrice that from A to B. Two trains travel from A to C via B. Okay, let me just show you this figure. So the figure looks something like this. Okay, distance from A to B is, if it is D kilometer, then distance from B to C should be 3 times of that. So I have just shown it in different parts. Okay, so as per the given data. Now two trains travel from A to C via B. The speed of train 2 is double that of train 1. Okay, so this is my train 2, this is my train 1. If this speed is say x, then this speed is 2x, double. Okay, and their speeds are interchanged while traveling from B to C. So after this point, the speeds are being interchanged. Okay, so we are asked to find out the ratio of time taken by train 1 to that by train 2. What is the ratio of time? Okay, so guys, this is a very simple question. Let's assume that train 1 takes 2 hours to travel this D kilometer distance. So can I say train 2 would take A hours? Once again, why have I assumed 2 hours? Because I know train 2 is traveling at double the speed, so it will take half the time, right? So this will become A hours. Now from this point, the speeds have interchanged. So can I say train 1 will travel this distance in A hours, this in A hours, this in A hours, right? While the speed of train 2 has become x now, so it will take double the time, so it will travel this distance in 2 hours, this in 2 hours, and this in 2 hours. So what is the total time taken by train 1? It is 5 hours. What is the total time taken by train 2? It is 7 hours. So what is the ratio of time taken by train 1 to train 2? 5 by 7. That's your answer. How much time did it take? It was from CAT 2020 slot 2 paper, right? So it should have taken hardly 60-70 seconds for you to figure out. And these are the kind of question that you should be practicing at this point of time. Even if you get some tricky question like we saw previous one, try to figure out something from options or leave that question. Because if you wish to reach to that 12-13 attempt mark, in quant section, if you are targeting 99 plus percentile, so you cannot entangle yourself in complicated question, and you are definitely going to get easy and moderate question that you can solve. On an average in CAT paper, if you look at, there are always 4 to 5 questions which are on the complicated side. So you can just put those 4-5 questions aside. All the other questions are of moderate level of difficulty or easy questions, right? Let's move on and let's take up another question which requires concept of proportionality. Proportionality means if speed becomes double, time becomes half and all, like what we applied in the previous scenario, right? So leaving home at same time, Amal reaches the office at 10:15 a.m. If he travels at 8 km per hour, once again we can depict this situation, home, office. We don't know the distance, so we can assume d km per hour. So and we also don't know what time he is leaving. Okay, but we know that if he travels at 8 km per hour, then let's assume he takes t hours time or t minutes time. Doesn't matter whether you take minutes or hours over here. And he reaches the office at 10:15. Okay, I'm taking this time in minutes over here. And at 9:40, if he travels at 15 km per hour. So if he travels this distance at 15 km per hour, the distance remains same over here. Then he reaches at 9:40. That means we can easily make out he's saving 35 minutes over here, right? By increasing his speed by 15 by 8. Okay, his speed has become 15 by 8 times the previous speed. So his time has gone down by 35 minutes. So can I say if speed has become 15 by 8 times, so time should become 8 by 15 times. That means now at the speed of 15 km per hour, the time taken should be 8 by 15 into t. So what is the reduction in time? T minus 8 by 15 t is 7 by 15 t, which is equal to the time that he is saving now, that is 35 minutes, right? So it's very easy for us to make out that t will come out to be how much? 75 minutes. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So that means if he is reaching at 10:15 at this speed, so he must be starting at 9 o'clock sharp, right? If he travels at 8 km per hour, then he takes t minutes time, that is 75 minutes time, and he reaches at 10:15. Okay. Now let's look at what is our question. So our question is, leaving home at 9:10. Leaving home at 9:10, at what speed in kilometer per hour must he travel so as to reach office exactly at 10 a.m.? He wants to reach sharp at 10 a.m. Okay, that means he wants to reach in 50 minutes. What is the time taken earlier by him? So he was taking 75 minutes earlier, which now has become 50 minutes. So can I say time has become 2/3? So your speed should become 3 by 2 times the previous speed. So this will come out to be 12 km per hour. That's your answer. Very simple question. So I really hope all of you have understood this. This question was based on concept of proportionality or proportionality variety question. Let's look at few more questions based on this concept. So guys, here is another question. Let's understand the question. A train traveled at 1/3 of its usual speed and hence reached the destination 30 minutes after the scheduled time. Now guys, what does it mean by this statement? Let's analyze this part first. Okay. So here is the situation, right? Train goes from A to B, and if it travels at 1/3 of the speed, definitely it will take 3t time, and it reaches say 30 minutes after the scheduled time, that is 10:30. So if the train travels at normal speed, that is S, can I say it would be taking only t time, right? Because this has become 3 times, so this should become 1/3, very easy to make out, and it should be reaching over here. Correct. So it should be reaching on time, that is at 10 o'clock. Isn't that? Because here it is reaching 30 minutes after scheduled time. So what should be the scheduled time? The scheduled time should be 10 a.m. Okay. So can I say here the train is saving 2t time, and here it is saving 30 minutes time. So I can say 2t is equal to 30, or you can say t is 15 minutes. T is 15 minutes. So basically the train had to complete this journey in 15 minutes time. Let me just write over here. Train had to complete this journey at its usual speed. It should have completed this journey in 15 minutes time. That's it. This is a very simple question. Okay. Now let's read further. On its return journey, the train initially traveled at its usual speed, that is S speed, for 5 minutes. Can I say train travels the complete distance A to B in 15 minutes? So in 5 minutes, it will travel 1/3 of the distance. So if total distance is 3D, then in 5 minutes, train will travel this D distance, right? Okay. And then it stops there for 4 minutes. So now total time the train has spent is 9 minutes. Okay. Now what is our question? The percentage by which the train must now increase its usual speed so as to reach the destination at the scheduled time. Can I say the train had to complete the journey in 15 minutes? While reaching over here at this point, the train has already consumed 9 minutes time. So train needs to complete the remaining journey. The train needs to complete remaining journey in just 6 minutes time. Now at its usual speed S, for 2D distance, can I say train should have taken 10 minutes time? Because for 3D distance it should have taken 15 minutes. So for 2D distance it should have taken 10 minutes time. So can I say now instead of 10, the train wants to complete the journey in 6 minutes time. So that means the time has become 3/5. So speed should become 5/3 of previous speed. That means it needs to increase its speed by 2/3, which is nothing but 66.66% increase in the speed. And that's your answer. So answer should have been option C. I really hope all of you have understood this. Now let's look at one more question. So A and B are 2 points on a straight line. Ram runs from A to B while Rahim runs from B to A. After crossing each other, Ram and Rahim reach their destination in 1 minute and 4 minutes respectively. So this is that special case of relative speed where after meeting they reach to their destination in specific time. So what can we do over here? We can straight away use this formula. So speed of, say this is A means Ram and this is Rahim, right? So after meeting, Ram and Rahim reaches the destination in 1 minute and 4 minutes respectively. So this is your A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 4. So we need to find out ratio of speed of Ram to Rahim. So SA upon SB should be equal to under root of B by A. So I can say this is going to be 2:1, or you can say 2. So you can tick mark option C. Normally when it is ratio, it should have been written 2:1 or something like that, but this is how it was mentioned over there. So yeah, this question could have been solved in about 30 seconds if you are very clear with the concept, right? So this is how you should be solving the question. And once again, pay attention to the kind of questions that are being asked. See, I haven't been partial over here while selecting the question. It's not like that I have put those tough questions aside and I have just picked the easy question. Definitely I haven't picked one or two questions which I mentioned at the beginning which are actually difficult, which anyway we don't need to solve in CAT exam, but rest all questions I have taken up. Okay, chalo. So now let's look at some other questions of relative speed. So on a longer stretch of east-west road, A and B are 2 points such that B is 350 km west of A. So let me just indicate this situation. B is 350 km west of A, right? One car starts from A, so this car starts from A and another starts from B towards each other. If they move towards each other, then they meet after 1 hour. Okay, so let's assume that this car is traveling at say Y km per hour, this car is traveling at Y km per hour, and this car is traveling at X km per hour. Okay, so can we say that they cover this, the relative speed is X plus Y, and in 1 hour we know speed into time is equal to distance. So this is the relative speed, this is the time. So they cover this total distance 350 km. So I can make a very simple equation over here. Let me use some different color. So I can say X plus Y is equal to 350. That's it. And if they both move towards east, if they are moving in the same direction, then they meet after, okay, if they both move towards east, then they meet in 7 hours. They meet in 7 hours. Matlab this car catches this car, this second car in 7 hours. So can I say the relative speed of these two car will be Y minus X? In the second case, the relative speed is Y minus X and the time taken is 7 hours. And we know that when one car wants to catch the other car, the faster car needs to breach the distance, the gap between them, that is the distance of 350 km is to be covered by this car, right? So here I can say relative speed into time is the distance traveled, that is 350 km. Isn't this very simple, guys? So yeah, we actually don't need to do anything over here. So we got 7y minus 7x is equal to 350. Now what is our question? The difference between the speeds in kilometer per hour is, so guys, y minus x, can I say it's nothing but 50? That's our answer. In fact, we didn't require to make even the first equation. We should have just solved this by second equation. So I really hope you have understood how to quickly solve the question. This is a very easy question actually. Right, now let's look at some trains based question. This is that fifth variety, and the last one is boats and stream questions. So let's look at this question. I really hope you are able to understand this, and don't forget to mention in the comment section how did you find this video. Are you being benefited? Did you like the methods that I have shared with you? So please mention in the comment section, and yeah, that will help me keep going on. Right, so let's look at this question. Two trains A and B were moving in the opposite direction, the speeds being in the ratio 5:3. So yeah, these are two trains. Let's assume this train is going at 5 meters per second and this train is going at 3 meters per second, because yeah, we can take up the speeds, we can assume the speeds over here. There is a reason, okay, because we are asked to find out the ratio. Okay, so whenever we come across such ratio questions, ratio of length and all, we don't need to find out the exact length, so we can assume the speed. Otherwise we need to assume in the form of x, 5x and 3x and all, right? So what it says, now this part is tricky in this question. The front end of A crossed the rear end of B in 46 seconds after the front end of the two trains have crossed each other. So guys, right now the front end of two trains are crossing each other. From this point, the front end of this train A has crossed the rear end of this train B in 46 seconds. So can I say basically train A crosses train B in 46 seconds, at what speed? At the relative speed. See, this engine has traveled this much distance, which is equal to length of the second train. So let's assume the length of second train as B meter and length of first train as A meter, right? So here the train A travels this B meter distance in how much time? In 46 seconds. So can I say distance is equal to speed into time, right? Or I can say time into speed. So time is 46 seconds, and what is the speed? So speed is 8 meter per second. Relative speed is sum of the speeds, right? So this is what we got. B is equal to 46 into 8. It took another 69 seconds for the rear end of the train to cross each other. That means, can I say from this point of time, it took total 46 plus 69. So it is going to be what? 115 seconds. 115 seconds to cross both the trains each other. So when two trains cross each other, they have traveled a total distance equal to their lengths at what speed? At the relative speed, which is 8 meter per second, and time is 115 seconds, right? So guys, you can straight away subtract this and you will get length of A, and then you will get length of B, and you can find out the ratio, right? So isn't this very simple question? So again, if you want to subtract this, what you can do is 8 is a common factor, so just subtract 115 out of 46. So of course we'll get 69 into 8 as the length of train. This will be A. So A is 69 into 8. What is length of B? It's 46 into 8. So B is 46 into 8. So what is this ratio, guys? It's 3:2. That's the ratio, 3:2. Very simple. So I really hope you all have understood this also. Okay? Chalo, let's take one more train question, and this is once again not that difficult. Two trains cross each other in 14 seconds when running in the opposite direction along the parallel tracks. The faster train is 160 meter long, crosses a lamppost in 12 seconds. Now guys, based on this, I can find out the speed of the faster train. Suppose this is the faster train, this is the slower train. Okay. And if the speed of the other train is 6 km per hour less than the faster one, its length. So we need to find out length of this second train. Let's assume it's y meter and this is x meter. Okay. Now see, the faster train is, of course, we know it's 160 meter. So speed is x meter per second. And yeah, let's take this speed as y meter per second. We don't know. Right. And this length has L meter. So we need to find out value of L. Okay. Now the faster train crosses the lamppost in 12 seconds. So can I say speed of the faster train is 160 meter upon 12 seconds. So this will come out to be what? 40/3 meter per second. If I want to convert it to kilometer per hour, so I'll multiply it by what? 18/5. You remember this, meter per second to kilometer per hour is 18/5. So this will come out to be what? 48 kilometer per hour. 48 kilometer per hour. Right. So what is the speed of the slower train? Of course, it will be 6 kilometer less, so 42 kilometer per hour. So what is the relative speed? So it will be 90 kilometer per hour, right? And it takes 14 seconds for both the trains to cross each other. So can I say they travel this total distance of 160 plus L meter at this speed in how much time? 14 seconds time. The only thing is you will have to further multiply this by 5/18. So you'll get value of L as 190 meter. Just solve this and you will get 190 meter as the length of the second train. So this was once again an easy question, right? Let's look at some boards question, guys. Okay, this is another question. Right. This is a nice question. Two persons are walking beside a railway track at respective speeds of 2 and 4 km per hour and will use slightly different approach to solve this question. This is a very unique question. So two persons are walking beside a railway track at a speed of 2 and 4 km per hour in the same direction. A train came from behind. Okay? One person is going at a speed of 2 km per hour and another is going at a speed of 4 km per hour. See, the train is traveling at the speed of x km per hour. Okay. And cross them in 90 and 100 seconds respectively. Right. The time in seconds taken by train to cross an electric post is nearest to. So guys, if you want to find out the time for a train to cross the electric post, what do we need to have? We need to have length of the train and the speed of the train, right? So we need to have this one. Okay. Now here the problem is, yeah, This is given in kilometer per hour, and this is given in seconds, right? So let's see how to simplify this problem. A train came from behind and crossed them in 90 and 100 seconds respectively. Okay, so yeah, guys, can we assume the speeds over here in something like kilometer per second? That will make it very complicated. Okay, let's take kilometer per hour only. So we are taking length as L kilometer. We are keeping everything in kilometer per hour. Okay, so can I say when this train crossed this person, so the train needs to travel L kilometer distance at what speed? At the relative speed, which is x minus 2, right? Now this is everything is in kilometer per hour, and how much time did it take? 90 seconds. So I'll convert it to hour. So 3600 hour. We can write it this way. Similarly, guys, in the second scenario, it crosses this person. So it travels distance of L kilometer, right? Yeah, and the relative speed will be x minus 4 kilometer per hour, and it takes 100 seconds, right? It takes 100 seconds, so 100 by 3600. Let's do it this way. So we got two equations now, right? And we want to simplify these two equations. Okay, chalo. So yes, I know both the equations have L in common, so I can straight away compare these two. So can I say one equation says that L equal to 90 into x minus 2 by 3600, and the other equation says L equal to 100 into x minus 4, 100 into x minus 4 by 3600, right? Just pay your attention to this calculation because we'll make it very simple, okay, at the end of the day, right? Okay, now this 3600 will definitely get cancelled off, so I'll get 90 into x minus 2, or let me just write it this way: x minus 2 upon x minus 4 is equal to 100 upon 90. Can I say 100 upon 90 is nothing but 20 by 18, right? So now can you think of some value of x out of which if you subtract 2 you should get 20, if you subtract 4 you should get 18. Of course that value has to be 22. Isn't that 22 minus 2 is 20 and 22 minus 4 is 18? So can I say the speed of train is 22 kilometer per hour and the length is L kilometers? So now what will be the value of length? Can I say L will be, I can take one of the equation, so I know L is equal to 90 upon 360, 3600 into x minus 2, that is 22 minus 2. Okay, see, once again we have got value of x, this x is this one, so I have just plugged in that value of x over here. So this is nothing but 20, so you will get length also. You really don't need to solve all these values, I mean you just keep it as it is. This will come out to be what, 40, 20 by 40 is 1 by 2. Okay, so this is 1 by 2 and this is 22 kilometer. So guys, how many seconds will it take? That is what they are asking. So it needs to travel 1 by 2 kilometer distance at a speed of 22 kilometer per hour. So what you will do is you will get this into kilometers, so multiplied by you will get this in hour, so multiplied by 3600 further, so you will get this value as 88, approximately equal to 82. Okay, so 3600 by 44 is what we need to do. 3600 by 44, let's see whether we are getting that or not. Yes, we are getting that as 82. So I really hope you have understood this. Now let's look at one more question. This is based on boats. So a man travels by a motorboat down a river to his office and back with the speeds of the river unchanged. If he doubles the speed of his motorboat, then his total travel time gets reduced by 75%, the ratio of original speed of the motorboat to speed of the river. Now guys, here I mean this is a very simple question. You will have to make equation and you will have to solve it. There is no other option. There is no shortcut to this. So we really don't need to show any design. It's a simple equation. Speed of the boat is say x kilometer per hour, speed of the river is say y kilometer per hour. So what, and the distance, let's assume it's d kilometer. Okay, so with a man travels by a motorboat down to a river and comes back. So how much time will it take? D kilometer at x plus y kilometer per hour speed plus d kilometer at upstream, that is x minus y kilometer per hour speed. So this is the total time in first case. Now if he doubles his speed, so his speed will become 2x plus y and while upstream it will become 2x minus y. So this will be the time. Then his total travel time gets reduced by 75%. So guys, this new time is just 1/4 of the previous time because it has reduced by 75%. So it has become 25% of the previous time, right? So this is how you know to solve this question. So I'll just show you that solution. Yes. So now what we can do is we can just remove this d as the common factor. Yes. So what will we get on the left hand side? It will be 1 upon x plus y plus 1 upon x minus y, and I am just multiplying this 4 over here. So I'll get 4 upon 2x plus y plus 4 upon 2x minus y. Now guys, you might be you might get worried in actual exam when you are solving such question. You may feel whether you will get the answer or not, how much time will it take, and so on and so forth. And that's where your practice comes in the picture. See, you should be able to figure out in advance that this question is not going to be very complicated. It will take hardly 15-20 more seconds for us to get the final answer. So please see how. So what we'll do is we'll just cross multiply both sides. So definitely this y will get cancelled off. On the right hand side, I'll get 8x, okay, 8x minus 4y plus 8x plus 4y. So definitely this y part will get cancelled off. Similarly, on the left hand side, what will I get? So I'll get 2x. This has to be y, by the way, right? So I'll just get 2x, isn't that? Okay, the denominator, I forgot to write the denominator. So denominator will be 2x plus y into 2x minus y, right? So I can straight away write down this as 4x square minus y square, 4x square minus y square. On the left hand side, I'll get 2x divided by x square minus y square. Okay, so this x will get cancelled off. In fact, this will also become 4. So just cross multiply. So you will get 4x square minus 4y square, and on the left hand side this will come out. Yeah, just a moment guys, I think we have committed some mistake over here in the simplification. Let me just write it once again. Yeah, just a moment, I'll just do it once again. So this 4 got multiplied over here. Just a moment, let's do it, no problem. So yeah, the new time is 1/4 of the previous time. So we can say this d part got cancelled off, right? There is no problem in that. Okay, so yeah, this denominator will be x square minus y square, and numerator will be, it will be 2x into 1/4, which is equal to, over here it will be, yeah, it should be 4x, 2x plus 2x, 4x, which I had written actually 8x, that was wrong, right? So 4x, and yeah, denominator will be 4x square minus y square. Now when this 4 multiplies over here, this will become 16, and this 2 will get cancelled off, so this will become 8, right? This x will get cancelled off. So yeah, let's see what we are getting now. So on the right hand side, we'll get 8x square minus 8y square. On the left hand side, we are getting 4x square minus y square. So if I just solve this thing, I'll get 4x square is equal to 7y square, or I can say x by y is equal to root 7 by 2. So this is the ratio of speed. You know, it was just of 3 steps actually, just that we stuck up somewhere, so it took a little longer. Let's look at one more such question, and this is actually a very simple question. So this question says that Swati can row boat on still water at a speed of 5 km/h. So we know speed of Swati's boat. This is speed of boat. However, on a given river, it takes 1 hour more to row boat 12 km upstream than downstream. Guys, now this is something, this is concept. You should be able to quickly figure out the speed of stream. Are you able to do it? The speed of boat is 5 km. That is certain distance. The distance is 12 km, and it takes 1 hour more to travel upstream than downstream. So can I simply say that if I divide 12 by 4, if I divide 12 by 6, I'll get 2, and if I divide 12 by 4, I'll get 3. So this should be my x minus y speed. This should be my x plus y speed. X is 5. So this has to be 1. 5 minus 1. So yes, we got speed of boat as 5 km/h. and speed of stream, speed of river as 1 kilometer per hour. Once we have got this, the question will further become very, very simple. So what is our question further? Let's see. So one day Swati rows the boat on this river from X to Y. So this is the situation, guys. This is X and this is Y, which is n kilometer upstream. So the river flow is this in this direction because this is upstream. Okay. But however, it doesn't matter actually in this question. Then she rows back to X immediately. So she goes to Y and she comes back. So it's upstream plus downstream. If she has taken at least 2 hours to complete this trip, what is the minimum possible value of n? So what is this distance, n kilometer? What is value of n, right? Now see, this question is actually very simple. Our downstream speed is going to be 6 kilometer per hour. We all know that 5 plus 1. Upstream speed is going to be 4 kilometer per hour. Yes or no? Right. Now what distance should I take so that it takes at least 2 hours? Guys, can I say if I take any value of n less than 4, then in both the case I'll get less than 1 hour time. This will also be less than 1 hour. This will also be less than 1 hour. So definitely n has to be greater than 4. Only then somewhere it will be more than 1 hour. 1 hour plus time, and here it will be less than 1 hour time. Total time may come out to be close to 2 hours. There is only one option which is more than 4 hours. You really don't need to check anything else. If you want, you can verify and you will come to know. So this is how you can save your time while solving times per distance question.